what is going on at Hull City? Last season, they narrowly missed out on the playoffs, but a few months into this season, they can't get a win to save their lives. They're in the relegation zone and they've just sacked their manager. Well, I'm putting my hand up. Let me be the new manager of Hull City. If the Hull City board are watching, this is a taste test of what you will get with Mr. Rebuild in charge. As today, we're going to make Hull City the best team in Europe. So this is the starting 11 we have inherited as we take over at Hull City. I'm going to be putting a much more attacking focused formation out on the park though. Hull City have too many good attacking players not to be using them to their full extent. Let's get down to business. First things first, I want us to bring in a striker that I think we can build around for the next 3 or 4 years as we make our push towards the Premier League. Yes, we have João Pedro. He's only 70 overall. He's in his 30s already. I want an upgraded striker and somebody that is much younger. That is what we have found right here. Picking up the Brazilian striker Fabrizio to join us here at Hull. We signed him from Levante for £4 million. There are absolutely some older players that I want us to cash in on and get some money in for another big signing. Abu Kamara is not one of those. We're sending him off on loan, but Louis Coyle is sending him to Leeds. The Turkish winger Dugakan Sinik heading to the Austrian league. And a loan here for a guy that I definitely could see being a part of our starting 11 down the line. Right now though, I have decided to loan out Xavier Simmons. But here we go. We've collected another young piece to build around in our midfield this time. The Scotsman Connor Barron joining us from Rangers. So I've converted Liam Miller to a left midfielder, and now we have converted Mohamed Baloumi to a right midfielder. I'm hoping this is the right decision. It makes sense for the formation we're playing at least. And with that, this is what our starting 11 looks like after the opening window at Hull City. I did also want to sell João Pedro and Casey Palmer, but I couldn't get any offers in for these guys. I'm hoping we can get them in time for January. Definitely some money in our back pocket still. For me, the big question is around our defense. Charlie Hughes, I will not be selling him, but it's really a question as whether I loan him out and bring in somebody else, or I guess keep him in the starting 11. Rushworth is also only here on loan, so maybe an upgraded goalkeeper is a move, maybe Code Drame, maybe a new young starting centre back. Real big questions around a lot of our defense. But we'll get to January, see how it started the season, and hopefully have some more answers. This is more like it. This is a brilliant start to life at Hull City. Just 2 losses in the first half of the season, and we currently occupy an automatic promotion spot. This is probably the trajectory that a lot of Hull fans had wanted after just missing out on the playoffs last year by a fraction. I can work with this. All right, let's go make some magic happen in January. So whilst Charlie Hughes is growing all right, he's growing half decently. He's not high enough in overall for a Premier League club, or at least a club trying to get to the Premier League in my opinion. So I'm going to loan him out for 6 months here to PSV, get him some more game time, get him some more growth. And I'm trying to muster up just a little bit more financial backing before we go in for the upgraded centre back. An offer came in for Ryan Longman, so I've decided to accept it. Still none at the moment here though for João Pedro or Casey Palmer. I would rather Casey Palmer get one because he's definitely more expensive. And an offer still never came in, so I've had to taper my expectations slightly, but I'm still pumped with the man we have got in for our back line here. It's somebody that I've actually watched play with my own eyes for a very long time. He was a former FC Cincinnati player off on loan last season. Wolverhampton is his parent club. It is Yerson Mosquera. Your son is now our son. The Colombian centre-half joins us for $3.5 million. He's gone from the Lions of FC Cincinnati to the Wolves of Wolverhampton and now the Tigers of Hull. This guy loves playing for 4-legged clubs. Mission achieved. We have not slid down into the playoffs, so we have got ourselves automatically promoted to the Premier League. Hull City returning to the Premier League for the first time in almost a decade at this point. It would have been really nice if we would have won the league, get that EFL Championship trophy to take up with us, but we are heading to the Premier League. We're going to have a massive challenge if we want to stay though. Scrolling down the table, relegation zone, we'll see Portsmouth, Plymouth Argyle and Oxford going down. Man City win the FA Cup. We actually made it to the semi-finals. Imagine the scenes if we had won the FA Cup, gotten promoted to the Premier League, and next year we're immediately heading into the Europa League. Man City also win the Carabao Cup. Slightly worse performance there. Round of 32, not the worst in the world. And Stoke City, it is really it is the old dogs coming back to the Premier League. Stoke City joining Hull City back in the Prem. Fabrizio hitting the ground running though. 21 goals. Look at that. Mohamed Baloumi. I was questioning whether we made the right call converting him to a right midfielder. Absolutely we have. Up to a 76 overall, 32 goal contributions, 21 there for Liam Miller, the Canadian, former Liverpool youngster. The lads are absolutely crushing it. Mate, Carl Rushworth going up to a 76 overall this season. He's only here on loan. I can't offer him a contract to bring him in permanently, but the temptation is absolutely there to bring him back next season. Alongside Rushworth, Sellers Fleming is the only other guy leaving the club. I'm letting him walk on a free. Automatic promotion to the Premier League is not the type of season one I expected. We have cakewalked season one, but we're going to have to be on top of our game if we want to survive in the Premier League next year. So it's pretty clear this team isn't good enough to survive a relegation battle, at least of my opinion. We're going to have to do some really smart business here in the summer window, really strategic business if we are even a sniff of staying up. The positive is we have about £50 million to spend, but we're going to have to divide it really evenly. I've started off with what I feel is the most obvious one, and that is to bring Carl Rushworth back to the club. He was one of our key pieces in the promotion campaign. It only makes sense that he gets to start for us in the Premier League. He is an upgrade as well. So Carl Rushworth joins us for £10.6 million, and I believe we needed a true superstar in the squad. Somebody we can look at and say, yeah, that's our star guy. Malik Tillman is that guy for me. The American is going to join us as our star signing here in the Premier League. He joins us from PSV for £27 million. Some players to clean out in the squad though. We need a little more money. Believe it or not, Casey Palmer has been sold. I never thought I'd see the day. And Ivor Pandor heading to Middlesbrough for 3.1 mil. I believe we lack some veteran presence though in this squad. We need somebody that has seen many Premier League seasons, many seasons at the top, many seasons at the bottom, and someone that has seen some of them at Hull City, which is why we will be signing slabhead Harry Maguire. It just makes sense. Bring him back to Hull. He's not getting game time at United, has 11 months on his contract. We get him on the cheap. Harry Maguire joins us for £8 million immediately into our backline, 80 overall. And I'm hoping his veteran presence and overall upgrade can help us stay up in the Prem. We are not done yet though, fellas. Callum Jones sold permanently to Al Khalij. Steven Alzade heads to Leicester. And 3 loans to round things out. The first is Simmons heading to Getafe for 2 years. The second, Charlie Hughes heading to Wolverhampton. And the third, Abu Kamara heading to Mallorca for 2 years. I'm happy with the business we've done in this transfer window, but my God, we still have a task on our hands. We need to bat above our weight. We need to bat above our average, punch above our weight. We need Hull City to really step up here. First half of the season is going to be interesting in our bid to survive relegation. I don't have any delusions of pushing for European football. I just don't want to go back down. So far, we are alive. We are alive and kicking. 17 points. There are a lot of teams down here with us though. Let me move that camera so you guys can see the points down the bottom there. But I do think we need a little more of a push if we are going to survive. And I reckon the right back role is the position where we can get the most of an upgrade. So I have sold Code Drama to Wolverhampton, £5.7 million. I did not expect to be signing this man in this video. He's a very polarizing figure in world football. It is going to be Emerson Royale. From a pure numbers perspective, it makes sense to bring him to the squad. He's around the same age as Cody Drama, I think 2 years older, but he's 4 overall higher. 78 overall, he joins our backline now. Emerson Royale trying to help keep clean sheets, get assists alongside Harry Maguire. We bag him from AC Milan for £11 million. Oh my God. We did it, and we did it with absolute ease. We finished 18 points clear of Everton. Everton on 25, Luton Town on 22, Stoke on 21, Hull City on 43. That is a lot better than I expected. We hit the magical 40 marker, and it pays dividends. Hull City have survived in the Premier League. Honestly, next year, I'm just hoping to do the same again. Scrolling up the table, Premier League champions are Manchester City. Arsenal win the FA Cup. We lose to Man United in the round of 16. Chelsea win the Carabao. Round of 64 exit for us against Wrexham of all teams. Of course, the goal of this video is to win a Champions League with Hull City. Bayern Munich do that this year. Villarreal win the Europa League, and the Conference League goes to Palk. Fabrizio carried us this year, man. 25 goals is actually insane for his first year in the Premier League. And somebody that I had kind of had mentally set up to be here for 3 or 4 years and then sell him on and get a superstar striker. might have set himself up with dynamic player potential to be here for the long term. Decent year for Bloomy, decent year for Tillman. Nobody really blowing me away. I mean, I'm blown away by Regan Slater coming off the bench and getting 12 goal contributions. We are going to be saying goodbye to João Pedro, who retires, and Yevon, I've never seen that name in my life. Javon Mills, who I'm just letting walk. When it comes to this Hull City team, I feel like I'm just trying to claw myself piece by piece up the ladder. There's not really that moment in the rebuild yet where I can just go bang, 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 and have that massive jump with just one signing here. Oh, we're a little better. One signing here, a fraction better. We've gone from 14th to 13th, 13th to 12th. I feel like it's going to be one of those rebuilds. Our first signing, hopefully our first and not last signing of the season, is going to be at the attacking midfielder role. It is for the Danish attacking midfielder, Albert Grønbæk, joining us from Stade Rennais for 21.2 mil. And I can tell you lads, that promotion money has dried right up this year. It's time to clean house if we want to make any more signings. Anthony Rasiopi, I butchered that guy's name. He's been sold. Alfie Jones is heading to Ajax for £5.1 million. And if we're going to make a big signing, we're going to have to let some superstars go. Superstars in the context of this side. Another deal done with Wolverhampton. We've done so many. I didn't want to let him go, but the £7 million is definitely going to help us get what I want to be a new left midfielder. And well, since we're going for a new left midfielder, it should probably come as no surprise that I've sold Liam Miller. Our biggest departure so far, he heads to Luton Town for 10 mil. And when I was doing my research into who I could go for at the left midfield role, I saw this name, it made sense. In real life, he's jumped from Aston Villa to Hull, back to Aston Villa. And once again, he's jumping back to Hull. He's nominated for the Puskas Award from his efforts at Hull City last season. It is Jaden Philogene joining us back here. He suits the orange and black stripes, joins us for 23 mil. Oh, I'm just hoping we don't get second season syndrome. We did a great job last year. I want to escape the relegation battle. I would love if we could get mid-table, but again, I don't know if this team is good enough to be having that lofty of expectations at the moment. But lads, if you are enjoying the content, if you're enjoying this rebuild and you aren't already subscribed, if you are a part of the 45% of people watching right now that are not subscribed, do us a favor, scorpion kick that subscribe button down below. Oh my God, this is what I'm talking about. Second season syndrome has kicked us in the nuts right now. Granted, a win will get us out of here, but we currently sit last in the Premier League. Last in the Premier League, 14 points. All right, I'm going to try doing some work here in the window, but I need to figure out what I need to do. And that makes a lot of sense as to why we are struggling. Harry Maguire out injured, and Hughes also injured. And we don't really have the money nor the assets to go out and get somebody young and huge. So I've had to be really calculated right here, spending just about every penny we have remaining. And that is to bring in yet another veteran defender to replace Harry Maguire for the second half of the season. Eric Dyer, 2 overall higher. I think 2 or 3 years younger. He's looking to finish his career back in England. We signed him for 7.2 mil. It's kind of a Hail Mary, I'm not gonna lie. There is something about us and the second half of the season. We have survived. It was nowhere near as comfortable as last season, but we have pulled ourselves off the bottom of the table and we are gonna finish 14th for the second straight season. Fine by me. Once again, just cracking that 40-point barrier. Brentford go down on 37, Leeds on 32, Forest on 29. I don't care who goes down, honestly. I'm just pumped that we did not. Scrolling up, and it is going to be Tottenham winning the Premier League. Liverpool win the FA Cup. Third round exit against Rotherham. Brentford win the Carabao. We go out to Spurs in the last 16. AC Milan win the Champions League. How'd they manage to do that without Emerson? Arsenal win the Europa, and Ajax are going to win the Conference League. Fabrizio just continues to show up, lads. He's up to an 83 overall now. He's got time on his side. I genuinely think, I mean, his potential is like, I believe 81 or 82. So he's already got the dynamic player potential into him. He could be our striker for the whole video. And with Balumi into the 80s, Philogene into the 80s, Tillman, all these players entering the 80s or about to enter the 80s, there is no reason why we shouldn't be thinking that next year we need to start separating ourselves. Next year we need to be pushing and starting to think about the top half and starting to think about when we want to make a run for a Champions League. We've weathered the early storm, now let's build. Harry Maguire, Eric Dyer, they've done us solid, but I think it is now time to make them great locker room guys. We need a young gun, we need a young stallion that is going to be higher rated and get us up to the next level. And there is nothing I love more than getting somebody from one of the big clubs that just can't get game time but has solid potential. That is exactly what we've done with Liverpool as we pick up Kwanzaa from the Reds, £20 million. First man out of the club this year, the Irishman James Furlong. After a really solid year and a half, it is time for us to say goodbye to Emerson Royale. He's ticking off another club in his English football club bingo. He's heading to Aston Villa for a pretty healthy fee. And Xavier Simmons, I'm selling permanently this time to Swansea. There we go, fellas. New right back coming in. Aaron Hickey left the Premier League to join Borussia Mönchengladbach, but he's back with us. A pretty healthy 26 mil to bring the Scotsman to Hull. Bagging us a backup striker in Rocco Simic. Also, I have zero intentions of selling Fabrizio right now, but look at some of the offers we are getting sent for him. My God. That being said, this is what our team looks like heading into season 4. I'm going to put it out there right now. Barron, Mosquera, a few of these guys, if they don't step it up and get themselves well into the 80s, this will probably be their last year as a starter because we're on the up. We want European football. Okay, yeah, we have really broken away from the relegation battle. We're 2 wins away from getting our highest amount of points in the Premier League so far, and we're only 19 games in. We are well and truly within striking distance of not only qualifying for some sort of European football, but also winning the Premier League. That being said, a win could drop us, or a loss rather, could drop us down to 7th. All right, we're going to have to be great in this second half of the season. Given the start of the season we've had, this was a little frustrating, but we are going to be playing some sort of European football next year, I believe. 7th in the Premier League, 64 points. We were 1 point out of the Champions League. 1 point out of the Champions League. That is brutal. Man City have won the league comfortably, at least comfortable for this season's standards. We were 2 losses away from 2nd place. That is, oh my God. I'm just glad though, Man United down near the relegation zone. I am so glad to be away from that. Spurs win the FA Cup. We lose to Charlton in the 4th round. I feel like the first season, we were so damn close to winning a domestic trophy and we have not even had a sniff since. Liverpool win the Carabao. 2nd round there, what are we doing? Bayern Munich win an all-German Champions League final. Stuttgart, it's been a good year for the Germans. But then Brentford go and win the Conference League. Another solid year here for Fabrizio. 23 goals, 5 assists. 85 overall at age 27. I could cash in for him and get some insane plays around the park, but I also want to see how far he can go. These are great results. Valumi doing better than I expected, up to an 84. I'm happy with the direction of the side right now. I'm surprised though, Dyer and Harry Maguire are yet to retire. All right, lads, it is time. It is time to get ourselves a star midfielder. Connor Barron's growth, it's been slow, it's been steady, but it's been kind of disappointing. So we're going to go for somebody ready for the starting 11 that we have right now. It is Merlin Roll, the German, signing on from Freiburg for 32 mil. And also, I got duked. I thought 7th place was going to at least get us Conference League, but it gets us 0 European football. Must have been because of the other cup winners, which yeah, I'm disappointed about, but that now means my 1 goal for the Premier League this year is Champions League qualification. No distractions. So I've got the centre mid role sorted. Now I think it is time to get the left back role sorted. Ryan Giles has punched above his weight for this entire video. It's now time to cash in. And if we're going to be able to get somebody truly worth upgrading Giles with, we're going to need the cash. I debated keeping Connor Barron on the bench, but I think it's best if we also cash in on him. There we go. Our 2nd signing of the window that I'm absolutely pumped up about. The Portuguese left back Alvaro Carreras joining us from Benfica. This window is what I would call pure efficiency. We get rid of a left back, we get rid of a center midfielder, we bring in an upgraded left back, we bring in an upgraded center midfielder. And that boosts the base of our squad up so much here. Good to see Rushworth going up to an 80. Mosquera, Gronbake, Rushworth all need to continue going because they're probably next up on the chopping block. 1st of January, we currently sit 9th in the Premier League, which isn't great when you first see it, but then you look up and the top 4 is only 4 points away. We've overcome bigger deficits. We just need to have a really good second half of the season, which almost seems right up our alley at this point. And I mean, we're nowhere near the relegation zone, so I feel like we can really go out here and swing for the fences. And despite Mascara being 79 rated and Kyle Rushworth being 1 overall higher, I'm actually going to put Rushworth on the transfer list because I think we can get a lot more bang for our buck. Goalkeepers are a lot cheaper to buy in FC25, so if we can get 14 to 18 mil for Kyle Rushworth on top of the 16 mil we already have, I think we could get a world-class keeper for that £30 million mark, more than we could a centre-back for the £30 million mark. And that is exactly what we're going to do. We got a deal over the line pretty quickly, but for the millionth time in this video, we've done another deal with Wolverhampton. Thanks for your service, Carl. We have worked our ass off to get a deal over the line for a new goalkeeper before our next Premier League game. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. We're going to get an 84 rated goalkeeper. I doubt we could have got ourselves an 84 rated centre back, at least one that's 26 and still have a lot of growth ahead of them. But we have beaten out Eintracht Frankfurt to collect the services of Philippe Jorgensen from Chelsea, and we're going to pay 24 mil for him. I'm pumped. The second half Kings are at it again. We get by on goal differential. Goal differential and a win on the last day of the season. We sneak into the top 4 ahead of West Ham United, meaning the Tigers are heading to the Champions League in season number 6. Man City win yet another Premier League title, and the relegation zone is going to be Brentford, Leicester and Luton. Crystal Palace win an all-London FA Cup final. God damn, look at that semi-final. Where did we go out? We did not do well, which feels we lost to Man City. That's a huge missed opportunity. Brighton win the Carabao. Again, another just horrible season there. Man City have dominated. Juventus win the Europa and Liverpool win the Conference League. Fabrizio has been trumped though. Jaden Philogene is our Golden Boot winner at Hull City this season. Regardless, they have both had very, very strong seasons. Not gonna lie, I want some of the other lads to step up though. Like, these are half decent stats, but they're not blowing me away by any stretch of the imagination. We are going to be saying goodbye though to 2 of the golden oldies, Eric Dyer, Harry Maguire, both retiring. That's a huge leadership void that we are missing out on, but it is going to clear up a lot of wage space. Thank you to both of these lads. They got us through a really tough period, but now we enter the Champions League period. We're in the Champions League. That Champions League moolah has hit, and I want to get the big additions we need to take this team to being a genuine contender, not only in the Champions League, but also for the Premier League. I'm sure it probably comes to nobody's surprise, but we have decided to get an addition in at the defensive role, and that is the Portuguese centre-half Thomas Araujo joining us from Atletico Madrid. The big moves do not stop there though, fellas. We are going to break our club record transfer fee. Harvey Elliott is now a Hull City player back in English football. We've picked him up from Bayer Leverkusen, and this guy is going to really take us to that next level. Harvey Elliott, I am pumped. Club record transfer fee of 62 million pounds. A couple of the lower rated older guys in the squad though that I do want to clean out. Andy Smith heading to the Saudi League for 880,000 pounds. Harry Vaughan heading to Plymouth Argyle. And well, I've been trying to get Brandon Fleming to go as well, but just can't get any over the line for him. We'll see if he ends up at Houston. Couldn't get Fleming out of the club, but we're going to bring Andrew Healy into it, the young Irish defender signing on from Millwall as a backup right back option. This team looks like it belongs in the Champions League. I've got to say it, with the additions of Elliott and Araujo to the starting 11 and the growth of the guys that were already here, this is a strong team, man. Now that we're in the top 4, we have to get it every year, and we have to see how far we can go in the Champions League here in Season 6. But here we are in the Champions League for the first time in Hull City Club history. Union Berlin here in September. October, we have got Celtic and Lazio, so a pretty moderate start so far. Dinamo Zagreb, and then we have Atletico Madrid. I'm glad that we signed Araujo. December, we have AEK Athens. It's a tough run home. RB Leipzig into Real Madrid. No cakewalk games, but I genuinely think we should be at least pushing for the playoff round. The 1st of January, and we have only got 1 loss in the Premier League all season long. 2 points clear at the top of the table. Convert those draws into wins, and we should get ourselves the title. That would be huge. And we've done pretty damn well in the Champions League as well. 10th after the league phase, which means we miss out by goal differential automatically to the round of 16, meaning we are going through the playoffs where we will be facing AS Monaco. Let's see how it plays off. Champions League playoff round here. We've got Monaco. We're away in the municipality of Monaco for the first leg. Can we take something back to Hull? Yes, we do. It is Balumi getting us the lead late into the second half. 2-1 up heading into this second leg. Do not bottle it. Fabrizio, I don't know if he was at 90 for the first leg, but I've definitely just noticed it. Second leg, at home, Hull City. It goes to extra time. Oh my God, we almost went out in regular time. Harvey Elliott saved our ass there. Holy hell. All right, we're into the round of 16, but it is not comfortable. I'm actually feeling kind of blessed to even be in this situation. We've got Villarreal, the Yellow Submarine, in the round of 16. We need to be a lot better than we were in that second leg against Monaco. At home for the first leg here. It's not been a happy hunting ground given that second leg, but here we go against the Yellow Submarine, and Fabrizio rescues us. Another late goal at home rescues us. All tied up. A trip to Villarreal, get us through to a Champions League quarterfinal in our first attempt. We do it! Jaden Philogene with 9 minutes of magic. We're heading to a Champions League quarterfinal with Hull City. The dream stays alive. I will say though, we have crawled past Monaco and Villarreal. If we get a big dog in the quarters, we can't afford to crawl past. Yep, we've got Real Madrid. Quarterfinals, we have got Real Madrid. No more crawling. If we want to get to the semi-finals, we need 2 incredible performances. If we can beat Real Madrid, I'll be feeling a lot more confident. Right now though, I'm not feeling crazy confident. First leg at home is a 3-1 defeat. Kylian Mbappe bags a brace, and we're basically out of the tournament at this point. We're basically going to need some sort of a minor miracle here. Heading to the Bernabeu, I expect Madrid to just shut up shop. How are we going to go? Can we pull off one of the biggest comebacks? No, we cannot. Real Madrid have shown us that we're making good progress, but we are still so far off being able to take down the big dogs. Mbappe gets another brace. Oh, we miss out on a Premier League title by goal difference. Goal difference is going to be the death of me, man. I mean, it is the reason why we got to play Champions League football this year, but it stopped us from automatically going into the round of 16 and winning a Premier League title this year. And well, it's because we weren't able to convert those goddamn draws into wins. At least we're going to be back in the Champions League next year. Relegation zone. Arsenal almost got relegated. They survived by 8 points. But it is Ipswich, Leeds, and Everton going down. Man City win the FA Cup. We lost to Man City in the semi-finals, but we did win the Carabao Cup. Is that our first piece of silverware as Hull City manager? I think it is. We have won the Carabao Cup. Real Madrid win the Champions League, which definitely does make me feel a little bit better. West Ham United, I saw they signed Endrick. They win the Europa, and Lyon win the Conference League. Jaden Philogene, 29 goals, 23 here for Fabrizio, but that is huge for Philogene. There is no doubt, a lot of our superstars, 28, 29, 28, 27, they're all starting to enter their peaks, which means our window to win a Champions League is well and truly open. But I'm actually letting 4 players walk on free transfers here. The most I think I've let in this entire video. Will Jarvis, Sean McLaughlin, who's retiring, Harvey Cartwright, and Brandon Fleming, all walking. I'm really leaning into the whole 2-3 year window, and this next signing really personifies that. I can't see too much growth coming out of Aaron Hickey at the right back role, so I've decided to get somebody the same age as him, but 2 overall higher. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Brazilian right back, Jan Couto, signing on from Barcelona for £56 million. There are absolutely areas of our reserves where we need solid backups. Left midfield is going to act as that. We're going to sign NDI on a relegation fire sale from Everton. And the good thing about him, he can also shadow as a backup striker if we need that. A backup keeper won't go astray either, which is why we're signing the Russian Matvei Sofanov. 83 overall. He's the perfect backup. And with Healy at backup right back, I don't see the need in keeping Aaron Hickey in the squad. I want to cash in on him. So we're going to sell him to AS Roma, 36 mil. I have purposely kept on to a lot of money though. And actually that's quite funny, because I would say Roll was the guy that I was looking to potentially upgrade come January. He's gone up to an 85 though. We have now got a lot of players here that are 27, 28 years of age, 85 overall. And I'm going to have a decision dependent on how the season starts as to whether I want to upgrade these guys or whether I just want to pimp our bench and our reserves out massively. Into the Champions League for the second straight year. And of course, I want us getting those automatic spots this year. Osasuna to start things off. Marseille in October, a long with AZ Alkmaar. November gets tough, Bologna, but then it's into Barcelona. Slavia Prague in December. And as always, January is the most difficult month. Juventus into AC Milan. We need to front load all of our progress. 1st of January, and we are sitting 5th in the Premier League, which is not ideal. I want us winning a Premier League title this year. And we're 10 points off the pace right now. Things are going really well in the Champions League. Still 2 games to go, but I think we've mathematically already secured ourselves a spot in the round of 16. And a lot of my problems or worries with the starting 11 have kind of gone away. Every one of the 85 rated players has grown to an 86 here in the past few months. So I think I'm just going to go in and invest heavily into our reserves. I want to go for 3 players: a backup left back in Owen Beck, a backup striker in Chilean Damian Pizarro, and a center midfielder of the future in Joshua King. Because God forbid if we don't actually win the Champions League in this little window that I've set myself, we need to think about the future. Joshua King could easily grow to become a starting center midfielder in 3 or 4 years. But we ended up going undefeated in the Champions League phases. 0 losses, top of the pop, which definitely fills me with confidence. We skip the playoff phases and we're into the round of 16. I'm hoping for a pretty favorable draw. No, we get Barcelona. You couldn't give me, I don't know, Bologna or Celta Vigo. We get Barcelona in the round of 16. Real Madrid nowhere to be seen. Look, I'm absolutely brimming with confidence after being undefeated through the league phases, but Barcelona is always a terrifying proposition. The first leg is away at the Camp Nou, and it is a 1-1 draw. If only we would have held on for 5 more minutes, I would have been feeling a lot more comfortable. We keep a full-strength starting 11 on the park. We're at Hull City Stadium, back at home, a rainy night here, and we demolish Barcelona. We absolutely demolished Barcelona 3-0. All right, I feel a lot more confident after that. We keep ourselves undefeated and we get ourselves back to the quarterfinals. Finishing top has given us no benefits besides missing the playoff round. Man City. We verse Man City. The toughest team remaining, we get to verse. Sick. And we have to head into this first leg without our American superstar, Tillman. 89 rated Tillman, out for this one via suspension. Gronbake in. Please, okay. All I wanted was to survive this first leg, to be honest. It's all about keeping yourself alive for the second leg. We do that. 1-1 as we head home. Tillman is back in. We're officially back to full strength. This is where we went out last year. We've got more of a fight this year than last, but I want to keep the undefeated streak alive. We do that! And it is King. King comes off the bench, misses a pen. I don't know why he's taking penalties over Fabrizio off the bench as well, but King makes up for it, scores us the winner, and we're heading to the semi-finals. I feel a lot better going into this semi-finals though. It's the team we took out last year. Villarreal have been doing quite well in this rebuild, but I'm hoping to get another victory against the Yellow Submarine. Can we set ourselves up for a strong first leg? We're at home, lay the foundations. I want a Barcelona second leg-esque performance. Just thump them. We don't thump them. King, though, is proving to be such an important signing. He scores the same minute he gets subbed on and has given us yet another lead. If you've been watching the rebuilds for a while, you know exactly what I want out of this game. Number 1, obviously a draw or a win, get ourselves into the final. Number 2, no injuries. Number 3, no suspensions. All 3 of those ticked off, and I'm going to be a very happy man. This to get Hull into a Champions League final. It's a draw. They get a red card, but we get none. Lovely. We're heading into a Champions League final with Hull City, where we will be facing Bayer Leverkusen. Leverkusen beat Dortmund on penalties. They won their quarterfinal game against Celta Vigo. Feyenoord, so they've had a much easier run to the final than we have. But they're a tough team, no doubts about that. Taking a look around the ground, Stade Brestois win the Europa League, and RC Lens win the Conference League. Good year for the French clubs. We finished 3rd in the Premier League this year, though. We're back to the Champions League next year, but I would have... Man City down in 8th is actually wild. Relegation zone in the Premier League, it is Wolves, Brentford, and Luton. Unfortunately, we lost the Community Shield at the start of the season against City. Bournemouth win the FA Cup. We went out to Stoke in the 4th round, but we win ourselves ourselves another Carabao Cup, taking down West Ham 3-1 there. Fabrizio, man, if we win the Champions League this year, he might find himself nominated for a Ballon d'Or. I cannot believe the guy that we signed as somebody to bridge the gap for the first few seasons and help us lay a foundation in the Premier League has turned out to be this good of a talent. Fabrizio, I cannot wait to use you in this final, mate. I can't wait to use this whole Merlin role. I was gonna get rid of him this season. He's now 87 rated. My God, bring on this final. Elliott against his former club. We're going to go out wide here to Balumi, the Algerian. That was a great first touch. Look at the space underneath. I'm just going to bang that early. Oh my God, that would have been a great start. Put ourselves a free kick here in such a dangerous area. I want to swing this one towards the back post and see if we can make something happen. That's a great ball in. Unfortunately, though, most of the power came from them. Leverkusen, long shot for them. They can stick to that all day. Oh, I don't know if we've beaten the offside trap there. We have. Fabrizio shoots and scores. You expect that when he has the shooting stats he did. Fabrizio, I thought we were done with the offside trap there, but our Brazilian superstar is going to fire us into the lead. Camavinga, no long shots, man. No passing like that either. Oh my God, man. We cannot leave the door open. Florian Wirtz trying to get in. I just take out a man. Do we not want to defend? Where has Leverkusen woken up from? They've been so bad in this game and now they're playing insane. Good tackle. Can we get him on the counter here? Jaden with a perfectly timed roulette to unlock the defense. He somehow keeps this run going. I might just bang it. Jaden, oh my God, that would have been one of the greatest goals in Champions League history. And there it is. We are going to hold on here despite Leverkusen throwing the kitchen sink at us in the second half. And we are going to win a Champions League title with Hull City. And for me, it is only right. The man that has been with us since day dot, Balumi, a man that exceeded expectations, is the one wearing the captain's armband when Hull City are going to become champions of Europe. Lads, if you enjoyed today's rebuild, make sure you click here to subscribe and click here to check out another video.